Welcome guys to another YouTube video, another learning episode. So thank you for the subscribers, thank you for the returning subscribers. Continue subscribing, right? Just click on the subscription button, just like and share, right? Thank you for those of you who have subscribed, and those of you who have watched but have not subscribed. Kindly just take a second and subscribe, right? Yes, so that you can continue bringing more learning episodes, right? So today's episode, I'm going to do something on erectile dysfunction. Erectile dysfunctions. This is one of the most critical topics as far as the reproductive system is concerned, right? So erectile dysfunction affects millions and millions and millions of men in the world, right? So today I just want us to discuss what is it basically, what are the causes, right? So I hope once more you learn, once more you get to know more about this topic. And please remember to comment, right? What was your experience? Maybe you had it somewhere. Maybe your friend had it, right? How did you manage it? How did you go through it, right? So today, in this episode, I'm going to do there are two types of erectile dysfunction. We have two types. The first one is psychogenic erectile dysfunction, right? And another one is vascular erectile dysfunction, right? So in this video, I'm just going to focus on psychogenic erectile dysfunction, right? So maybe in the next episode, I'm going to do something on vascular erectile dysfunction, right? Yes. So once again, subscribe if you have not done so, right? Yes. So we are talking about psychogenic erectile dysfunction, right? So what is it? What is this thing called psychogenic erectile dysfunction? So first, let me define what erectile dysfunction is. So erectile dysfunction is when a man, right? A man finds it difficult to achieve erection or maintain erection firm enough for sexual activity, right? First, you may have a difficulty in achieving erection. Totally cannot achieve erection, right? And again, you can achieve erection and you fail to maintain firm erection throughout the entire sexual activity, right? So all these two definitions make up what we call erectile dysfunction. You are struggling with difficulty in achieving erection, or you are achieving erection, however, you cannot maintain erection throughout the sexual activity. Maybe you achieve erection after maybe 10 seconds of honest work. You are not the erection goes down, right? Erection is not firm enough to continue sexual activity. Maybe after one minute of honest work, the erection is not firm enough, and you cannot continue the sexual activity, right? So you may be having a problem with achieving erection, right? Or maybe having a problem with maintaining erection throughout sexual activity. So all that classify erectile dysfunction. So it's when a man has difficulty in achieving erection or maintaining erection throughout the entire, maintaining erection firm enough, right, throughout sexual activity, right? Because again, you can maintain erection, but it's not firm enough for sexual activity, right? You have erectile dysfunction. So millions of people get affected with this, right? So again, it's not a problem to just live with it, right? To consider it normal. No, it's not normal, right? Because your sexual life determines how your general life runs, right? So if you have a problem with the sexual life, in many occasions, you find that maybe your social part of life is affected, maybe your economic part of life is affected, right? So in many cases, your sexual life affects your life in general, right? So if you have erectile dysfunction, maybe you're suffering from it, right? Don't consider it normal. Consult with your physician. Just speak about it, right? You will get a solution. It's not a normal condition, but it affects millions of people, right? Yes. So I'm talking about psychogenic erectile dysfunction, right? What is psychogenic erectile dysfunction? So psychogenic erectile dysfunction is when a man has difficulty in achieving erection or maintaining firm erection, right? Firm erection necessary for sexual activity caused by psychological causes, right? Caused by psychological factors, right? So psychogenic erectile dysfunction is basically a type of erectile dysfunction that is caused by psychological factors, right? So we have many causes of erectile dysfunction, right? We have ranging from the psychological causes, we have the biological causes, right? So there are many psychological causes of erectile dysfunction. Before I go into the psychological causes of erectile dysfunction, let me just put this one out there, right? So when your penis is flaccid, right? That is when you are not sexually active, right? You don't have an erection. The amount of oxygen in the penile tissues is roughly 20 to 40 millimeters of mercury, right? When your penis is flaccid, that is when you are not erect, right? Yeah, you are not sexually active, maybe, right? The amount of oxygen in the penile tissues are between 20 to 40 millimeters of mercury, right? However, when you get an erection, when you are ready for sexual activity, right? The amount of oxygen doubles, triples to about 80 to 90 millimeters of mercury. That is to say that oxygen is one of the main factors that is necessary for you to get a firm erection, right? So we've seen that from when you are not sexually stimulated, you are not erect, you don't have an erection. The amount of oxygen is between 20 to 40 millimeters of mercury, right? However, when you have an erection, the amount is between 80 to 100. That's about a triple amount, right? Yes. So oxygen plays a very big role as far as erection is concerned, right? For this oxygen to reach the erectile tissues, there must be blood circulation, right? Because we know that oxygen is carried throughout the body in blood, right? Yes. So we need good blood circulation. So anything that affects blood circulation towards the penis, that affects blood circulation in your body, affects your sexual life, and particularly erection, right? And can cause you erectile dysfunction. So going by this, right? I'm going to start with the psychological causes of erectile dysfunction, what we call psychogenic erectile dysfunction. So I hope you learn from it, right? Yes. So the psychological what are the psychological causes of erectile dysfunction? One is performance anxiety, right? Performance anxiety. We did a video about premature ejaculation, and one of the causes was performance anxiety. Performance anxiety can also cause erectile dysfunction, right? So how can it cause erectile dysfunction? Maybe you are wondering, right? You're meeting this new girl, maybe you are new into marriage, right? And you're worried. Will I really satisfy my wife? Or will I really satisfy my girlfriend? How will be the outcome, right? How maybe your wife is somebody who has a lot of experience. Maybe she has experience. She has a different experience as far as sexual life is concerned. She has a lot of experience, right? Maybe you are new into this game. Maybe you are new in marriage, right? So you're worried. Am I going to satisfy her, right? You may have something called performance anxiety. And you may fail to erect, right? You may fail to erect, or you may erect only for 1 second, or maybe for 10 seconds, right? Yes. So performance anxiety can cause erectile dysfunction, right? Apart from performance anxiety, maybe you are depressed, right? Depression affects your sexual life. Depression affects your life in general, right? So as far as it affects your life in general, it can also affect your sexual life, right? When you are in depression, at times it's very difficult, right? Many people, they find it very difficult to operate normally, right? And this can affect your sexual life. So depression is one of the psychological causes of erectile dysfunction. Apart from that, we have psychological stress, right? Maybe you have stress from work, maybe you have stress from neighbors, maybe you have you don't have money, you have psychological stress, you are stressed up, right? Stress can lead to erectile dysfunction. It affects your sexual life in general, right? As far as it affects your life in general, it can also affect your sexual life, right? So psychological stress can cause you erectile dysfunction. In another video, we'll discuss how you can go about all this, right? Apart from psychological stress, apart from depression, apart from performance anxiety, what else can cause it, right? We have relationship problems, right? You have unstable relationship, maybe you have unstable marriage, right? You have unstable relationship, you quarrel each and every day, you are not stable, right? It can also cost you your sexual life, and it can lead to erectile dysfunction. You may fail to achieve erection, or you may even fail to maintain erection throughout the sexual activity. So unstable relationship, unstable maybe marriage, right, can cause your sexual life, right? Yes. Apart from that, we have worry. You are worrying about erectile dysfunction, right? It can cause you erectile dysfunction. Maybe you had stories from your friends. Maybe you had stories maybe from your neighbor. Maybe, right? Maybe one of your friends underwent the same. He or she he had erectile dysfunction, right? So you are worried. If my friend had this, right? Maybe even it can happen to me. Maybe at some point, right? So worrying about erectile dysfunction can make you to can make you to have it, right? Yes. So worrying about erectile dysfunction can also cause you erectile dysfunction, right? Yes. So having mentioned that, right? Apart from depression, apart from relationship problems, apart from psychological stress, right? So those are some of the things that can cause you psychogenic erectile dysfunction, right? So apart from that, we have something called post-traumatic stress disorder, or what we call PTSD, right? So you may be having trauma about your sexual life, right? Maybe you are raped at some point in your life. Maybe you are forced into sexual activity, right? And you're having trauma. You're having trauma, right? So post-traumatic stress disorder can cause you to have erectile dysfunction. Maybe during sexual activity, you've remembered the incidents, right? So PTSD can also cause you erectile dysfunction, right? So having mentioned all this, right? Erectile dysfunction is not the end of life, right? It has different management strategies, right? You can manage it at home, right? There's kind of lifestyle you should need, right? They can kind of diet, right? So don't live by it, right? Don't assume that it's something that is normal, right? Because your sexual life guides how your general life runs, right? So don't keep quiet. Consult with the physician, right? So I hope you learned something. I hope it was some sort of learning, right? So in the next episode, I'm going to do about vascular erectile dysfunction, right? So once again, if you have not subscribed, just click on the subscription button. Please like and comment, right? Yes. So that's all for this episode.